So, new images of the Nintendo Switch 2's Joy-Con have leaked, and for the first time, it seems like it's the real deal. Not that the past ones weren't real leaks, they were, but this time, this isn't just a shell of a Joy-Con prototype in a factory somewhere. These two are pictures of real, functioning, finalized Nintendo Switch 2 Joy-Cons, and they match perfectly the Joy-Con shells that leaked late last year. Larger analog sticks? Check. Larger shoulder buttons that extend further down the sides? Check. 2 magnetic connections? Check. 4-player light indicators on the side? Check. Weird square hole with an optical sensor on the Joy-Cons? Check. Wait, what was the last one again? We have just been blessed with the information, practically a confirmation, that the Switch 2's Joy-Cons possess what looks to be an optical sensor camera thingy on their side. And if you'll remember last year, multiple sources were debating the inclusion of a camera on Switch 2. But when the console started leaking and there was no camera to be found, some moved on to speculating that we would have a camera on each Joy-Con. What if all that camera speculation wasn't wrong, but just a bit misguided? We might have received not a camera, but an optical sensor. That same laser sensor that is present below your computer mouse at this very moment. So when I was scrolling and I first found this image, I thought to myself, optical sensor? For what? Simulating Wii remote controls for a possible Wii NSO update? But you'd have to hold it sideways, it makes little sense. Then I flipped that sensor as I would with a mouse, and the moment it touched my mouse pad, oh my god, it feels just like a mouse. My mind has been positively blown away by this discovery, and I am now a firm believer in the Nintendo Switch 2 mouse theory, and I am here to prove you why it could be a game-changing control scheme for Switch 2. First of all, ergonomically speaking, and I'd request that you try this at home sometime, dear viewer, the Joy-Con on its side like this feels perfect for mouse controls. You have the 2 buttons up top, which are now in a sideways orientation, just like a mouse. Your fingers stay right above the buttons at all times. Your thumb, surprisingly enough, feels like it falls into place as you can now press 4 buttons and even rotate the analog stick, all without having to take your fingers off the mouse buttons or lift the controller at all. Keep in mind, Switch 2's Joy-Cons are larger with a larger joystick and wider shoulder buttons, making it even better for this use case. But why would we want to have a mouse built into our Joy-Cons in the first place? I don't get it! If it hasn't clicked yet, don't worry. But before I get to the practical uses for this mouse feature, I need you to think like Nintendo for a moment. Nintendo's always innovating with their controllers. There hasn't been a single Nintendo controller in their history of home consoles that hasn't introduced a major new feature. And with the original Nintendo Switch's Joy-Cons, the whole deal was that you had different modes of play that you could switch between. Slide the Joy-Cons into the console, handheld mode. Place them in the grip, docked mode. Hold one in each hand, put your console on a table, boom, tabletop mode. So it isn't too far-fetched to believe that for their new console installment, they would like to have a new mode to switch to. Handheld, docked, tabletop, and cursor mode. Mind-blowing, I know, right? This theory even knocks out the C button speculation like it was nothing, as if it was obvious all along. What would warrant an extra button on a Joy-Con to begin with? Maybe a button that activates and deactivates a sensor present in the controller itself. Can't justify a button any more than that. This would be a fantastic new feature to show off at their reveal. An entire new mode of play with the same form factor you already love. It's expanding the functionality of the console in a big way that's easy to understand and yet very useful. How so? Well, picture yourself playing Mario Maker 1 on Wii U. Full of joy, wonder, and whimsy as you use your stylus to draw your creation into reality. Now, picture yourself slowly moving your analog stick from side to side for a minute to fill up a wall in Mario Maker 2 on Switch. Yeah. Now, picture that same Mario Maker 2. Except, you put your Joy-Con down on the table, it gives you control of the cursor as you enter cursor mode, and now you have full mouse control schemes and features building a level faster and more efficiently than ever before. You're now playing Pikmin 4, and the stupid auto-aim is pissing you off. You wish you could just target those Pikmin in a novel and fun way. Boom, cursor mode. Any Wii title that uses a cursor ever ported to Switch 2 or a possible Switch 2 NSO app, boom, cursor mode. And that's just thinking about the games that we can already think about being playing on Switch with a cursor controller. Expand your horizons a bit and remember that you'll have a USB port, hook up a keyboard to that console, and now you have full mouse and keyboard controls on your Nintendo Switch 2. Shooter games on Switch? Non-optimal, not fun, run poorly. On Switch 2? We already know we're getting Call of Duty. If you can natively play that with PC controls with the controller that comes out of the box on a console that also happens to turn into a handheld, the Nintendo Switch 2 is becoming the Swiss knife of consoles. Works for every situation at all times. So many control schemes to choose from, playable in handheld and docked mode, this could be revolutionary. And for most of those cursor optimized games, they'll even work great in portable mode because you have a touchscreen. It feels like we've just stumbled into the perfect Switch 2 theory, that missing selling point that no one saw coming that could change everything. I really hope that we're right about this. For the time being, that's just a theory, a game controller theory. But I want it to be real so bad. Thanks for watching, subscribe for more Switch 2 content as we approach its release, have a wonderful day, goodbye!